Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, Prep News family. How is everyone? Hope that everyone is having a good day, great day. I'm still tired, man. Still tired. You can kind of hear it in my voice from the long volleyball weekend. It it kind of got the best of me. Hadn't really did something like that since my son stopped playing showcase basketball, which was a couple of years ago. And so the fast paced um, monotony of what happens over the course of the weekend, watching so much girls volleyball. It was intense but crazy, man. I got to see some really good young volleyball kids as well as some solid high school kids, not just from the state of Louisiana, but from other states as well. On a shout out, Red Storm Volleyball, as well as LVL, Louisiana Volleyball in Lafayette. They were really good. Lower Alabama Volleyball was really good. And so, yeah, I had a pretty cool weekend. My daughter compete, learning how to compete. It was her first competitive event ever. That something. She played volleyball at her middle school, but if you watch that, that's like watching paint dry in Ascension Parish. Like you get nothing out of that. So going to those games, I was literally sitting there watching a game almost like this. When is this gonna be over? So it was pretty cool though. Again, getting to watch those young ladies go out there and leave it all on the line for the game that they love, and it just makes it even more special when it's your own child that's doing well and what she's doing. So yeah, I got to see my daughter on Saturday and Sunday compete. Thursday night, y'all know I'm a big fan of my son. Uh, I got to see him compete. So it was pretty cool. But hey, man, back at it. Hey, thank y'all guys for being patient with me, man, as I try to keep up with my kids too. On the days that I'm not on, it probably means that I had a really long night dealing with my children the day before uh, in one of their sporting events. Again, my son plays college basketball at Northeast Mississippi Community College in Bloomsville, Mississippi, where they beat the number 7 ranked team last night, East Mississippi. Also got their 30th home win. And he got a really nice dunk too, man. Really nice putback. Again, as a parent, you just kind of dwell in the moment on those things because it's what it is. It's your child. You're supposed to enjoy those moments. You know, I'd say anybody go support your children in whatever they do, be it they're an athlete, they're an academic scholar, whether they're in the band, play Jeopardy for fun. Just go support your kids. It's really big. It really means a lot. We're talking boys basketball today. Boys basketball today. Friday. was the last day we were here. We talked girls basketball the whole day. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. We want to thank Daniel Martin for joining us again on Friday. He is the head girls coach at Prince Settlement High School. And if my memory serves me correctly, they played Springfield that night. They went on and got a win in that matchup. So again, congrats to Coach Martin. So we're gonna check out, see if they had games from last night and see what that was about. If we can find a game or two. What's been going on with y'all, man? We got a special interview too. We're gonna bring y'all pre-recorded interview that we did. We was able to get done. Really special kid. And so, hey, y'all doing all right? Everybody good? All right. And couple of little scores from yesterday in Class B, Family Christian, Dunham, 48-34 win for Family Christian. Grand Isle, Covenant Christian, that game was canceled. Johnson's Bayou, Grand Lake. It was a home game for Johnson's Bayou, but that game was a forfeit game. 2-0 win for Grand Lake. Plainview, South Cameron, win for Plainview, 78-58. Class B, Family Community, Mangum. No score on that ball game. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Mangum wins that ball game. Nope, I'm wrong again. That's Glenmora, Midland. No score on the Family Community Mangum game. Glenmora, Midland. Midland wins at Glenmora 58-38. Holden, Doyle. That's a big matchup in Livingston Parish. No score on that ball game. Zawali, Manning. It's a home game for Zawali. They get a 49-33 win over Manning. So great job by Zawali. Class B school, beat a 2A school. Again, that's something we've been talking about here on Prep News for the last few weeks, that a lot of these smaller schools, just because they're smaller schools, don't mean that they can't play the game. You know, a lot of these coaches and kids work their can off to be better, and that's just what they're doing. They're being better at the things that they love, and so again, you can't be mad about that at all. You have to just get into the moment of Are you competing? Did you do the little things that it takes for you to be able to compete better? What kind of training did you do in your off season to help your skill set development? How much did you challenge yourself? Those are some of the qualities you got to look at when you're talking about competition and competing. You have to do the little things. And it said that hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. But at the same time, as well, you have to be a part of the moment. Again, I've talked about this before. You can't get ready to play a sport when you get to the gym and you're walking through those double doors or that single door. You can't get ready to play the game then, because if you do, you're too late. You're probably about an hour, hour and a half too late, because everybody can't flip that switch off and on to say, okay, I'm in the gym now. I'm about to go and horrible choice of words, but I'm about to go and kill something in this gym, and everybody just doesn't have that switch to be able to turn off and on, to be able to have that mentality to do that. So yeah, that one right there. You got to be able to do that. You got to be able to not only challenge yourself, but challenge your competition, your teammates, your coaches. It's a lot of stuff that happens within that process. So how do you want to be viewed as a hooper or a soccer kid or indoor track, which is about to start? Like how do you want to be viewed? How are you going to be viewed? And that's what it is. So yeah, 5'8", Barb Welsh, 8550. Congrats to Coach Jason Wilson. Big win for Barb Bonnable, Eleanor McMahon. McMahon gets the 83-55 win over Bonnable. Denham Springs, Live Oak, big matchup in Livingston Parish. No score on that game. Hammond and Grace King is canceled. Mandeville gets away with a squeaker 62-60 over over St. Thomas Aquinas and Scotlandville Liberty. This is a makeup game from Friday night. East Baton Rouge, East Baton Rouge Parish canceled all extracurricular activities in the East Baton Rouge Parish. So those guys got together to make that game up last night. Scotlandville gets a big win, 62-53 over Liberty. Liberty, one of the hottest teams in the state, coming off of a big upset Saturday. Calvary Baptist got a win over Scotlandville at the Hoop Fest Tour event that was held at Calvary on Saturday. Hey, if you don't know about that, go check out the article done by Preston Edwards. He did a big article on it, on a new endeavor that he's having. Congrats to Preston. Super proud of him, man. Couldn't be more happier for a guy that I consider a really good friend. He's doing a hell of a job in keeping you guys up to date in high school basketball. And, you know, good job, my guy. Good job. Way to work, man. You're everywhere. I'm gonna start calling you what's that, MasterCard or Visa? Everywhere you wanna be. So yeah, great job, Preston. 4A basketball. Ben Franklin, Warren Easton. Warren Easton gets a 65-48 win over Ben Franklin. Carter Kennedy. Carter gets a 68-42 win over Kennedy. Shout out to Coach Bird Antoine. We're going to have to try to get him on here one day. Livonia, the Stroomer. Livonia gets to win at home 53-46. Selma Bogalusa. But Salmon gets to win 81-56 on the road. It's nice, man, when you go on the road and pull off a big win. I don't know how this happened, but you gotta be really good. Okay, that game was canceled. I ain't gonna even say nothing. Y'all don't worry about it. It's all good. Uh, Sometimes you see what you see and you can't unsee it, and so your mind be like, "Really? Did that really happen?" Yeah, I just did that. I just had one of those moments, y'all. I saw something that I couldn't unsee, and yeah, I couldn't unsee it. BT 3A BTW New Orleans side Academy, no score. Never heard of this school before, but it don't matter. No score on that one either. Haynes Academy, Ascension Christian. Haynes Academy loses by 7, 56-63. That was an away game. Canceled was Sophie B. Wright, International High School of New Orleans. Laranger Springfield. Laranger takes a tough loss on that one, 62-36. Wow, that's a tough loss, man. North Webster, Red River. Jeez Louise. Let me look at this again, man. Northwest Red River. Final on that one is 90-28 Red River. Man, tough loss. Tough. That's got to be a hard game. I should have said a little joke, but I can't even say it after reading their score. Um, so I got some apple juice, man. Just playing. I got some. I love apple juice. Corn College Prep, Grace King, no score. Crystal Ray Baton Rouge, Ascension Catholic. Ascension Catholic gets a big win on the road, 65-36 on Crystal Ray. 48-34. Okay, we did that one already. We don't need to do that one twice. Did all them. Oberlin, Hamilton Christian, 95-30 win for Hamilton Christian. Coach Dexter Washington. The 418 district matchup for Hamilton Christian and Oberlin. St. Edmundston Westminster Christian. Westminster Christian goes away big with this one, 92-53. That's 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 scores from yesterday, guys. We're gonna do something that we've not done on Prep News before that we're probably gonna try to do a lot more of. You guys just be a part of the moment to see what I'm talking about. And so we're gonna bring this in right now. It is the Bryce Weinmanson interview. Check it out. Bryce Weinmanson, he is a senior shooting guard from Mandeville High School. Hello, Bryce. How are you this evening?
What's up? I'm good. How are you?
That's I'm good, man. That's what's up. Hey, thanks for joining us on Off the Bench Sports Prep News. I say that like that's just too long, so I'm just gonna say Prep News, man. How's that? That work for you?
Yeah, that works.
All right, good, man. Hey, you're in your senior season, all 4 years at Mandeville under the leadership of Josh Priola. How's that been for you?
Um, it's been really good. I mean, Coach Priola has put a lot of faith and trust in me to be the leader on the team. Well, he came in my sophomore year. I had a different coach freshman year, but the last 3 years I've learned to be a leader and help my teammates out in a lot of different ways. So
No doubt. Up until we're talking freshman, sophomore, junior year. What were some of the things that you looked at individualistically as a player that you said that, hey, I got to get better at this?
yeah, sophomore year I wasn't nowhere near athletic as I was now. So that summer I put a lot of hard work into like being more athletic and training myself and just staying in the gym, really just working on my shot and just living in the gym really just helped me get better every other year, you know.
Who were some of the players either at Mandeville or around the state that were upperclassmen that you said, man, their games are it. How can I improve my game to get it better and similar to what these guys are doing on the court?
Freshman year there was Will Shepard. He was a two sport athlete. He was a freak athlete. He's at Vanderbilt playing football now. And how like on like just the way he plays the game, like how he could score and just all he I yeah, I really looked up to him kind of.
Okay, any other kids other than Will Shepard?
Um trying to think. It's been a while. Jordan Gex was another kid. He was a point guard. He was really quick and shifty. So I worked
was
with my
that
ball handling kind of.
was he a student athlete at Mandeville or another school?
Yes, sir. Mandeville.
Okay, cool. Well, you know what? That says a lot about those kids and what they brought to the table because I think the 2017 through 2020 class in Louisiana high school athletics, especially basketball, man, when you think about those kids, Javante Smart,
Mhm.
Jared Butler,
Yeah.
the kid that was at McKinley, you know, Will LaPoole at Washington, Northeast Louisiana. Um, Willon Shreve had some dudes like, you know, throw my son in there, Reese Beekman, Scooter Joseph, some kids, from New Orleans, the left-handed kid that was at Landry Walker, was really good. So they had a
Hmm.
lot of good talent across the state. What were some of the games? You remember any games you played freshman, sophomore, junior year that stood out to you that made you say, "Well, hey, I got to do this um, so I don't make these mistakes anymore." What were some of the lessons learned as a young ball player at Mandeville?
Yeah, I remember my freshman year. We were playing St. Paul's, which is like our one of our biggest rivals, and
Yeah,
like
that's the super arch
yeah,
rival.
yeah, the gym was super packed, and I just remember being really nervous because it's been my first time playing really like that in front of a crowd like that, and I
Yeah,
just I just like I just had to get the nerves out the way, and like now I'm used to it now. Like I don't know.
so what did you do back then versus what you do back now if you still have nerves to try to get rid of those nerves before or either at the beginning of a game?
Um, well, I used to just like shy away from the moment, just see what my teammates can do like under pressure, but now I'm the one that's being looked up to have the ball with the last shot and just make the play for the last seconds, you know.
Right. How do you know that as a hooper you had arrived?
Um, I would say this summer was really big for me. I mean, making a live on Florida Elite
Right.
EYBL team this summer and playing against top level guys like at Peach Jam, and that's when I knew I was doing the right things, and just all the work I put in, it's paying off. So
Right. I've seen Mandeville, over the last couple of years, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really know who you were until I saw you at East St. John a couple of weeks ago. I mean East Jeff a couple of weeks ago, and I'm watching you during warm ups. I'm like, man, this kid isn't missing a shot. I'm like, man, what's his number? I need to keep my eye on him. And
hmm.
then as the game got going, you were hitting them with the double moves, the triple moves, the one dribble pull up. You could hit the catch and shoot three.
Hmm.
How'd you get your shot um, almost to automatic? What was that like for you?
Just countless hours just staying in the gym on shooting on the machine or just getting people to rebound for me after like games or after practice. Just really just staying in the gym nonstop, just shooting on the machine and just other like some. I went to some trainers and they really fixed my form. Coach Max Ward, he used to coach at North Shore, and he really helped me with my form too. And he's really got me to where my shot looks pretty good. So
What was the one thing that you learned about your shot that needed to change in order for you to become consistent and persistent?
well, I used to have a bad habit of bringing the ball down and just bringing the ball down, just taking too long, not having my feet ready. So I think some big things I had to work on was just catching it in my pocket and just letting it go and just just have confidence really and just know that you're gonna make it.
Did you go back and watch the game where you guys played East Jeff? Have you
Yeah,
rewatched that game?
I have. I watched pretty much all of it.
You just use my terminology. Don't do that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding, Bryce. That was a
Oh,
joke, Bryce. You got to
oh.
smile on that, Bryce. Like I use that a lot during broadcasts. When kids catch the ball, it's putting the ball in their shooting pocket,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's called triple threat,
Mhm.
but it's very important that you know basketball terminology. That's how you know when kids have an IQ.
Mhm.
And then when they go out and display that within the course of a game, what are some of the biggest games that you look forward to this year?
Um, Definitely St. Paul's at their place again because I feel like the first time we played them, we didn't really have our best game, and I know it's going to be packed over there too. So I'm looking forward to
Right.
upsetting them because it's right now it's us and them for district right now. So
Yeah, y'all gotta regroup that win, man, in order
yeah.
in order to tie for district champs. Um, what's the biggest thing you've learned from Coach Priola as a player?
Um, I would just say just have confidence and definitely believe in my teammates that they're gonna do the right things and that I'm gonna get the ball back and just don't force a lot or just let the game come to you. He always says.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
What's it like for you? What goes through your mind when you're at a home game, and we'll use the St. Paul's game as an example, or
Hmm.
in you know, for instance, what goes through your mind when the gym is jam packed and you have a crazy student section and kids, you make a big shot. What goes through your mind?
Up there for a little bit. You said when the gym's jam packed and you got a crazy student section,
You
what goes through my mind?
Yeah.
Um, just really for me, just keeping calm. Really, just don't let the crowd or the high intensity rush my game. Just stick to what I do. Just not try to overdo anything or put on for the fans. I mean, my game will do that for itself, so I don't try to do anything out the ordinary. I just stick to what I do.
Right, right, right. You do it really well. I want to just tell you, yeah, man.
Thank you, thank you.
I think you have a phenomenal overall game. Again, young kids are jam packed in your gym.
Mhm.
You have young kids coming up, freshmen, sophomores, juniors. Talk to them right now. Give them some advice on what you've learned, not only about yourself, but about the game that will help them become better young men and better basketball players.
Yeah, I would just say just work just work in the off season or just stay in the gym so for big moments like that you're already ready. Like you don't gotta you should when you play you shouldn't even be focused on the crowd or you should just visualize yourself just nobody in the gym, just just you just doing your thing, just stick to your game.
Hey, there you have it, young men, from Bryce Wymanson, who is a fantastic shooter and scorer. Um, he can do everything I've seen him do everything on the court, but throw one down. Um, I'm, I'm waiting on that, D. Waiting on
Yeah,
that, D.
I
Tell,
got a I
tell,
got a couple this season, but
hey, you gotta send me that footage, man.
I
So I
will.
so I
I
can
will.
so I can say you can do everything on the court. I like to be able to say kids can do it all.
Hmm.
He plays on both ends of the court. He's asked to be a leader. Don't miss what he said. Right. He gave you guys some great advice, young men coming up that's future guys in the game. He's gonna get to, play at his next level. I really believe that. And so we want to thank Bryce Wymanson, Mandeville Skippers Basketball, for joining us tonight. Any final thoughts or words, Bryce?
No, I think that's it. Thank you.
Oh no, thank you, man. I gotta
Sure.
tell you, like I tell everyone else, man, get off the bench, get into the game.
Sure.
Welcome back, Prep News. Hope you guys enjoyed the Bryce Wymanson interview. He's a senior shooting guard at Mandeville High School, Mandeville, Louisiana. Kid can flat out put the ball in the basket. He's really efficient as a scorer. Yes, and we have a really special topic that we're going to talk to you about, giving our views, thoughts, and/or opinions about the matter. I want to run something by you guys real quick. Excuse me. Post I made originally on Twitter yesterday, just about the game, but it pertains to more than the game. It pertains to more than the game. Like it will really help you in your real everyday life. And it's just about being prepared, about preparedness. You cannot put off today for you cannot put off tomorrow for what you can do today. Don't don't put off today because tomorrow may not be an option for you. Sometimes you only get one opportunity to impress whoever may be looking at you. And so if you take for granted today, your tomorrow may never come. So here's the original tweet that I posted on Twitter. Amateur athletes, do you really want to get better, be better, focus on your have-nots? And your have-nots are just the things that you don't do really well. It's not saying that, hey, you're not a good basketball player or you're not a good football player. That's not what that means. That could just possibly mean that you do one or two things well, but you need improvement as well on one or two things. And there's nothing wrong with needing improvement. It's nothing. It's nothing at all wrong with needing improvement because we need improvement in everything we do in our everyday life. We need improvement with everything we do in our everyday life. The person who tells you that they don't need improvement um, maybe telling you a DAMN lie, real spill, because that would mean that you're perfect. And as we know, no one is perfect. No one is perfect. No one can do everything the right way. So you have to, not gotta, you have to be on those have nots. Don't be afraid to be a part of the have nots. The have nots are what's gonna get you some haves. Because at the end of the day, again, and we talked about this before, when you guys are saying, "Oh, I'm getting overlooked," or whatever, all the other things is that you guys are saying, it may not be that you're getting overlooked. Have you checked all of the qualification boxes? Are you a qualifier? Do you have grades? Do you have ACTs? Uh, do do you have the skill set, the whole skill set? Because what one school requires, another may not. All right, truly focus on the skills that you lack, develop them and add them to what you already have. Then you watch your stock rise from your own hands. That means by the work that you've done, by the sweat of your own brow, and the work of your own hands. All right. Without work ethic, without skill development, your chances blow away like leaves. That was a lot right there. Without work ethic, without skill development, your chances blow away like leaves. That means that, will you lose the ability that God gave you and that you work for? No, you just won't get to display it in your everyday life. And that's a really bad thing, all because you didn't work at being a worker. Got work at being a worker. Finally, once you put the package together, put it to work in live action. I don't even need to expand on that. Don't need to expand on that. That speaks for itself. Put it together. Put it together in live action. Work to prepare. Prepare to do work. Work to prepare and prepare to do work. It may sound like the same thing, but you're on a whole different stratosphere when you work to prepare and then you go ahead and do the work that you prepared to do. You don't know. You're bigger than life then. You may be Michael Jordan, or Kobe Bryant, or LeBron James. One of my favorite, the toughest guy in his own skin. AI, AI, AI. You might can be like Allen Iverson. The answer kid was a genius. He was a genius on the court. Or my personal favorite now. You might can let the ball fly like Kevin Durant. I like to see when kids can let the ball fly, man. That's a beautiful thing. When the ball has balance, rotation, that backspin is something else, man. That backspin is something serious. So, yeah. Uh, Yay. Still, just trying to get through, man. We're going to go to a commercial break real fast before we come back with our next guest. Uh, Preparing to do work. So, y'all just bear with me. Welcome back. About to bring our next guest in right now. Again, he's a guy that has been, man, there you go. That word coming up again. He prepared to do work, and he's doing that work in the Shreveport, Louisiana area. Please welcome Prep News contributor, Out the Bench Sports contributor, and now he has a new venture he's contributing to. So please welcome Preston Edwards. Well, hello, sir.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to ask you to forgive me early. I'm still a little beaten, a little worn out from the volleyball tournament this weekend, and I'm beaten and worn like I played. So I'm a little strained this morning still, man. I tried to rest yesterday. Just didn't work out in my favor, I guess. How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm good. I am definitely blessed in my present situation.
That's what's up, man. I see you repping that NLU. I see you repping that NLU.
I mean, it's the best school in the boot.
I got I'm gonna let you make it with that today. Hey, so tell us about your new venture, man. You got going on, man. You just put out your first two articles within that. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on that's new.
Oh man, as you know me a little bit off the camera, I work for pretty much every college in the city. I work the table during the basketball game, so opportunity got presented to me. A few retired journalists around the state are actually writing for a journal series, and it's online. But of course, I live in Shreveport, Bossier, so they asked me to become a writer contributor for the Shreveport Bossier Journal. You might know the person who heads it is Doug Ireland, retired former SID from Northwestern State University. And we got some other writers, nationally known and locally known in each area. And I think the journal, Shreveport Bossier Journal, then they have one for Ruston, one for Natchitoches. So it's a North Louisiana, Northwest Louisiana situation going on. And, the Extravaganza Classic was my first assignment.
Awesome, man. That's really awesome. I'm super proud of and for you and the work that you do every day to help high school basketball, not just in our state, but you venture off into East Texas. You venture off into, I guess that would be West Arkansas.
Yeah, Southwest.
You even have ventured off into the state of Florida to show love to the MAC. So again, man, I'm super proud of you and all the things that you got going on, and it's it's even better when you can make two nickels rub together and combine it into a dime.
Right.
Now let's get to the business at hand. You guys, this is the part of the show where if you haven't hit the share button, if you have not hit the share button, this is the part of the show where we're going to ask you to like, comment, and especially share, because we're about to talk about guys who we feel are candidates for Gatorade Player of the Year. And again, although some of our candidates may be the same, we may like them for different reasonings. their seasoning may be different. You know, some people may like the spicy. They may add a little more cayenne pepper in it. You know, to make those wings hot. Me, I'm a lemon pepper type guy, so I'm gonna get the lemon pepper liquid, and I'm gonna get the lemon pepper shake. And then what I like to do with my lemon peppers is the whole time that they're in the oven baking, I like to put them out and hit them with a little more shake every now and then. You know, to make sure that lemon pepper flavor through and through. So, you want to go first with your first one, or you want me to go first? How you want to do this?
I mean, you know, I guess
you guess, man.
I'm the
guess,
guess. I can go first. Yeah.
Yeah, you guess. Go first. Go with your first one, then I'll go with my first one. How about that?
I mean, it's fine. I guess the first person at the top of the list pretty much is the number one player in 2022, Solomon Washington. He fixed the game in so many ways, either positively or negatively. And the only reason I said negative is just thinking out the Duncanville game off the top of my head. He got 2 early fouls, and Carver was kind of never in sync. But rebounding, scoring, defending, he's a stat sheet stuffer, as Clark Kellogg would say during the CBS broadcast. So
yeah, that dude's funny. I just got one issue with that. You know, again, and I'm not afraid.
Got an issue with something I say.
No, it's not a bad thing.
I'm messing with you.
And it's not that I'm afraid of Texas by no means. I've said for a long time now that Louisiana has the best amateur athletes in the world. But sometimes we got to compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges. And sometimes if it's a Brazilian nut, we got to compare it to a Brazilian nut. And I said that only because, and life isn't fair, so this game of basketball isn't going to be fair. But Solomon is the biggest kid on his team at 6'7". Duncanville probably had 3 dudes at 6'7". We know they had 1 or 2 dudes at 7 feet. They probably got a 6'9". So he was doing his very best to try to pull a rebound down or contest a shot to help his ball club. And so when we say that negatively, at his next level, he's not going to have to defend a 7-footer. They got guys to do that. So when again, we have to compare apples to apples. Solomon is everything that you said he is. I'm not going to use the Clark Kellogg reference because that shit is too 1985.
And Clark was actually still in college playing then, so
I know. But he started working for CBS 7 years later.
And again, it definitely wasn't. I was just saying for his team, it wasn't a positive thing. And to be honest, during that particular first half, points in time before Anthony Black just decided to do his Anthony Black thing, Solomon was the best player on the floor. So, you know, things happen. I do know this. If the game wasn't in Texarkana, if it was in Monroe, it'd have been called a lot differently.
Right. Okay. Right. So my first player, and again, you guys do not have to agree with us. A lot
of them aren't.
It's our thoughts, views, and opinions. So we don't really care if y'all agree with us or not. I'm really finna make some people mad. But that's what I do. I do that a lot. So my first player that I'm gonna put out there for Gatorade Player of the Year is sophomore Cam Williams, LCA Knights, and he just became a better high school basketball player in his sophomore year. Not because he's doing anything different. He's putting up great numbers, 22 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks, 3 steals. But Macy, Lord have mercy, that boy went to school with my son. I can't remember his last name. But when football season was over, Macy didn't come right back to basketball. He may have took a month off to recover, and I think he played in a couple of bowl games or whatever. But he's back, and so Cam was having to play the point guard offensively, and then having to go on the defensive end and either defend the biggest kid or the best offensive player, all while still being asked to score the ball offensively. And he's a sophomore. Like, how many other sophomores across the state are asked to lead in that manner? You know, and I know y'all say, oh, he got time. Hell no, he ain't got time. Recognize and honor him right now for the work he's doing. Recognize and honor him right now for the work he's doing. At 22 points per game, he's one of the top scorers in the state in any class. And I'm going to use your reference to Clark Kellogg right now, Preston. As you can see by the numbers that I just called out, he's stuffing that stat sheet.
Yeah, no doubt.
And again, does that mean that he should automatically win it? No, because it's a lot. Hey, it's a lot of politics in who's gonna win this Gatorade Player of the Year award here in the state of Louisiana. Let's be open and honest and clear about that from the start. Some of the people that get a vote don't even see high school basketball. They get a phone call telling them who to vote for. I don't care who don't like it. That's what it is.
Okay.
Some people don't get a vote, should get a vote, i.e. Preston Edwards, i.e. Josh Preston. Those dudes work their can off.
Thank you.
I'm not going to include myself because nobody's ever going to let me vote on anything.
They probably will if you go ahead and pay your LSWA dues.
Man, I've been doing that. I stopped doing it because I would never get emails. But I'm going to start back this month, though. But at the end of the day, you get tired of paying dues to something and still not getting the respect that you deserve.
Right. I got you.
You know? That's asinine to me. But I got, sometimes I go on my little tangent, because that's who I am. But yeah, so Preston Edwards' first candidate is?
I mean, we already talked about the first one.
No, I'm just telling you to repeat his name.
Oh, okay. My bad. I wasn't following. I'm sorry, sir. Solomon Washington was
all good.
Solomon Washington was.
And
And yours is
Cameron Williams, LCA.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna put. You don't mind if I put our choices in the comments, right?
No, you go ahead and knock yourself out.
All right, yeah, let me do that real quick. Give me 1 second. Oh, Preston, why don't you do this while I'm doing this? Go ahead and give us your number 2.
And be honest, and of course, I just put this in an article. I think the day before yesterday. Well, it actually went to print probably in the wee hours of yesterday morning. I didn't have them in a particular order. I gave 9 names that I thought were probably going to be probably get the most consideration. In the same vein of Solomon Washington, another kid that basically affects everything on this team. He can play the point guard. He can rebound.
I'm gonna go ahead and write his name down because I know who you're finna say.
You sure? Because there's 2 guys similar to this, but this the one I was going to talk about is the number 1 kid right now. He's the number 1 player in the 2023 class, Christopher Lockett.
Whoa!
Like I said, they're not in any.
You got me on that one, brother. You got me on that one.
They're not in any particular order, but of course, and true enough, he's not. If you're going by the stats that I saw, of course, sometimes Max Preps kind of mixes things up because they add additional games or take games away. But he's second on the team in scoring. He rebounds, but when big games come up, he can take over in big game situations. Newman is one of the top 3 teams in the state, regardless of class. And to be honest, most nights Chris is their best player. So he's another player that I'm thinking will get some consideration for the award. And I know we're talking, and Gatorade is probably the most nationally recognized one. But historically, whoever is named Louisiana sports writer, Mr. Basketball, is usually the same person as the Gatorade Player of the Year. So whichever one's named first. So
you done?
Yeah.
You done? I'm ready, man. My second player is a kid, man. He just continues to improve his game. He plays really hard. He can defend the 1 through the 5 defensively. Offensively, he makes some of the sickest moves and movements I've ever seen from anybody. Like, the kid got springs like he's jumping off a trampoline. He got single moves, double moves, triple moves, 1 dribble pull up, 2 dribble pull up. He can catch and shoot. My second candidate is Corey Chess, Eleanor McMahon.
Very valid. Very valid. And Corey is someone who I had in my article as well. McMahon has a lot of firepower, and
Corey, they're loaded.
Yeah, and Corey is definitely one that he embraces the defensive end, so he can have a couple of. He might not even score heavily, but he has a couple of block shots. He's almost in the Anthony Davis vein of he can play defense and still affect the game in a heavy manner.
And let me give this disclaimer. Real quick. The names we're giving you guys, we're just giving you names. It isn't that these are our locked in solid picks. We're giving you candidates that we think have earned the right to be nominated for Gatorade Player of the Year. Not that this guy's our favorite, this guy's our second favorite because we give him second, the next guy is going to be no. We're just giving you candidates. So before anybody goes to Twitter and slices us a third eye in the middle of our forehead.
Oh man, don't worry about that.
I'm you know me, I'm not worried about it, but you just want to clarify things so that you can be on the same timeline as people.
Oh no, I understand. I'm messing with you.
Man, you ready for number 3? How many we doing? We doing 3? We doing 5? What we doing?
I mean, we can do, like I said, I put mine in no particular order. So I mean, you basically we've discussed 3 people that were in my article. So
that means you're doing something right.
I mean, I try. I try to put the work in. And even like I said, even in my present situation, I still put the work in. Are you reading the comments, sir?
Yeah, I'm reading the comment, man. So somebody's tagline is "Get a life, Hobart."
Oh, okay.
Hey, look. I'm gonna say this right here. Don't be a coward and use my name as your tagline. If you got something smart to say, I'm gonna tell you like Tony Braxton said a long time ago in the mid-90s. Just be a man about it.
Oh man. Whew. All right. I'm sorry that you've been interrupted.
Oh no, that's all right, man. That's
that's I was about to say that's the way of the world on Twitter and things like that.
Oh yeah. When you're doing something positive, it's always gonna be somebody doing something, trying to do something negative for you or to you. So none of that means absolutely nothing to me.
Yeah.
So who's your number 3, bro?
Again, in no particular order. Kid who has been having a phenomenal season, and his name is starting to grow in the ranks of definitely mid-major schools. He might even be getting some high major consideration. Went out to Vegas, had a good trip, and it helps that his game is just constantly improved since I saw him his sophomore year. He's the head of the press. He can handle like a point guard. He can move out to the wing. He can shoot off the dribble. He can spot up. And I think it's helped his game that he has a couple of pros on the staff, especially one that played the wing. Jacob Wilson at Liberty.
Wow, great choice. Great choice. Great choice. I've gotten to watch Jacob play. A couple of times. I've gotten to watch Jacob a couple of times this season. I've been watching Jacob though since he was, a young type playing in Baton Rouge under. This is what happened when you get old. Sports Academy, under the Sports Academy AAU umbrella.
Golly, you said their name. Gosh.
Man, he's been a dude for a while, right? The only knock that people always used to say about Jacob is that he needed more toughness. Well, if you don't see his toughness now, shame on you. He can score from all three levels, really solid defender. He's another kid that in high school, he can defend the 1 through the 4 solidly. Score the ball from all three levels.
Yeah, I think the addition of Chris Gatlin on their staff this year only helped Jacob's game skyrocket. Because Gatlin played D1 and then he finished his career at LSUS. So I saw it firsthand. He has everything, every move in the arsenal. He can score at every level. Plus, he has some bunnies. So, I think his addition would really help Jacob's game. To be honest, it help any Wings game in Louisiana.
Right. You've already mentioned him, so I'm probably not going to mention him again. But I really like Solomon Washington as well. So my next candidate for GPOY is the guy that plays off Madison Avenue in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Do I gotta say his name?
I think for the audience, you really need to go ahead and say it, but it's fine.
Percy Daniels, man, his game has grown in leaps and bounds, and people say, well, he can't do this or he can't do that offensively. Well, that's not his role. That's not what he's asked to do. He's asked to be the cleaner on the defensive end, and he does that with a force. He's the most dominant big man in the 2022 class. Period.
Yeah. He's another one that was in the article. And just watching him this summer, there were times where even against the top team like Zachary, where he would block a shot on one end, run to the rim, and not necessarily catch it on the first time, but he would work to get it, and then he'd score on the offensive end. He's a man on the offensive glass. He cleans up everything on defense. He has better movement than you would think at 6'9", and he can score over each shoulder. And he was doing that his freshman year. Right. And most guys can't even do that. So, they're still learning to do that. Yeah, Percy is definitely one who is going to get some heavy consideration.
I think he will, and I also think that he should. Again, at the end of the day, it's just a process of again the maturity and growth that these kids show in their sophomore year, their junior year, their senior year, where they get the tools necessary to be better. And that's really important that, you get some stuff in your bag so that when you put your backpack on, again, do work.
Yeah.
That's what guys are doing every day.
Yeah, and I caught a glimpse of the Seton Hall, a little bit of the Seton Hall game this past weekend. And to be honest, he fits what they're doing. So if you're wondering why he's a Big East signee, and you watch Seton Hall play, you can say, well, I can see Percy fitting in with that.
Right. I agree. I think he's going to do really well at Seton Hall. His game is definitely going to expand more, and he's going to be asked to do more there. Again, Coach Jones has done, and staff has done a great job at preparing him up to this moment in life to get him ready to be a D1 athlete. The Big East, the ACC, they have been the preeminent king of collegiate basketball for the last, I don't know, what would you say, 40 years?
Yeah, especially Big East basketball. Outside of a little lull when they decided to downsize. But other than that, Big East basketball has been where it's at. Speaking of Big East basketball, real quick, just shout out to Colin Holloway, who was giving Villanova buckets over the weekend. True enough, they didn't come out with the win, but Colin Holloway had a fantastic game against one of the top teams in the nation.
Right. Congrats, Colin. Really phenomenal job that you're doing up there at Georgetown, Baton Rouge. This kid from Baton Rouge, man. I'm sorry. Just a kid from Port Allen. Just a kid from Port Allen. And again, he's another kid that's doing work. And it shows when you can go to a Georgetown under a Georgetown legend like Patrick Ewing and get minutes as a sophomore. That means a lot of skill development happens. So, wait on your number 4, man.
And as I say, you keep putting numbers on this thing.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Especially,
bad,
I don't say especially when I listed a good 9, but it's all good. But we've talked about half of them. So, best team in the state, they're on a 17-game win streak. The guy that's giving you 20 and 10. He really is surprising. I mean, if he still played football, he would probably be a problem over there too. I think he quit playing football after his sophomore year. He loves contact, but he's rounded his game out to a guy who can hit the spot up 3, and he's definitely taking it to the hole when he gets a chance. Jalen Bolden is another.
Wow, that's big. That's big. That is big.
Yeah, I guess you're getting some heavy comments over there.
No, that was a text message. I can't see anyway, so I just got to squint.
Because you don't want to wear your corrective lenses. I got you.
I think I got an eye doctor's appointment in the morning.
Just
trying to do what I can do when I can do it, man.
Yeah, you need to You need to be like some of my coworkers. You need to go ahead and put that font on the biggest thing possible on them text messages.
Wow. Yeah, probably so. Probably so. Man. Man. Man, I love her. I love her so much. I miss her so much. Whitney Houston said, "Where do we go from here?"
I mean, where were you going? I mean, you know,
We go on with my next candidate.
Yeah.
Go on with my next candidate. Again, I'm a really big fan of the underdog. But
I was about to say it sounds like a point guard coming, but
you must really, really know me because, but this, I'm also a big fan of the two-way kid. I'm also a big fan of the kid that plays both ends of the court really, really hard. And this kid does just that. He is the floor general for his team. He also defends the best player for his team. He can evenly defend the 1 through the 3. And his game is only going to explode more once he gets to his next level. And so I think it's only right that, and I know that this kid probably isn't going to be close to winning it, or even if he even gets acknowledged for what he does and has done. But he's been just one of those kids that's been really good for the last couple of years, and that's Albert Shell, Wiseman High School. I think the kid does a lot. And yes, they lost to Zachary on Saturday. A lot of teams losing to Zachary.
Yeah.
But again, what he does for Wiseman, if you take Albert away from Wiseman right now, Wiseman is not the same team. Wiseman's just not the same team without him. So, Albert Shell.
Albert Shell. So, in other words, Wiseman is at least going to have the 3A player, most outstanding player 3 years in a row. That's basically what you're saying.
I believe that. Well, it's going to be a hard fight between him and Percy. Has there ever been a situation where they gave Cole Player of the Year
I'm sure in history. Yeah, I'm sure in the history of there's been, but not in recent years.
Again, you have to look at the whole of what a kid does. And again, I've said this for a few years now. We put too much stock in scoring only. If scoring is all we're looking at or all we're caring about, hell, give me enough shots, I can score 30.
Yeah.
Give you enough shots, you can score 30.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about?
We got
in my younger days when I could spot up. You about right. Yeah. But no, I understand what you're saying. And Albert is very good.
The totality of what he does is phenomenal.
I'll give you that. You okay, Hilbert?
I'm waiting on you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Basically, and we pretty much almost hit everybody that, except I probably have two more names that we haven't hit. This particular player, he when he steps on the floor, he really shows his complete skill set, inside, outside, 3-level scorer. He rebounds and blocks shots. He does everything on both ends of the floor, and he can do them at a high level. Probably not talked about enough, but some people who are visiting this extravaganza this weekend saw him play, and that would be LaBree Williams.
Wow. Big candidacy nomination by Preston Edwards and LaBree Williams. Coach sent me the highlight video, and I got a couple calls about how well LaBree played this weekend against a very talented Scotlandville team.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get to see him play, which is funny because he's been on about every circuit you could be on, or every primetime tournament during the summer. He's been on it, and people still say they haven't seen him play. So some got to see him play this weekend. And at the showdown at the lake earlier in the season, and
right,
you even look on the crowd's faces in some situations, and they're blown away with some of the stuff he can do.
Man, hey, shout out to LaBree Williams, man. That's a great honor for people, because Preston and myself aren't the only. There's a lot more people across the state that think that you can do this thing that we love really well. I think you guys know who my fifth choice is. I said it a couple of times already. This kid is another kid that he can do it all on the court. He can defend the 1 through the 5. He can score at all 3 levels. I was telling a coach the other day I need to see more consistency from him. And he turns around and hit 4 threes in a row, a mid-range jumper, gets a steal and I think a layup. Kid's just a spectacular athlete. If you can impress Ty Russ, you've done something. And this kid impressed Ty Russ. So for me, I think that he has to be there. It's a must that he's there, and that's Brandon Rogers Hardy. Then, the kid is still a junior.
Right.
Unreal. So, hey.
And, I can go ahead and run down the other couple I guess I didn't mention.
Yeah, go ahead and do
that. In the article, like I said, we pretty much hit on 5 of them. Other people I mentioned, and true enough, this kid probably won't win. I think he's definitely sewn up the Class C Player of the Year again. John Paul Riggs.
Oh yeah.
When he does everything for his team.
Right.
Everything.
And that's even, some people are gonna say stop lying, but really he has to defend the 1 through the 5.
Yeah.
For his ball club.
He's always been a high IQ guy. He's worked on his pull up game, and it has definitely improved over the years. He can go to the hole. He takes contact. He'll dunk on you now. And
right.
If he has a lane, he does everything.
And I think he's at about 37 points a game right now.
Probably last I saw it was 35. But, he probably has upped it some more.
Yeah, he's doing work. He's doing work.
and the other guy, he's lefty out of Central Louisiana, who has, he has really gone from a rebounder and a pick and pop spot up guy, and he still has that in his game. But high IQ, he gets you on your hip, he'll post you. He knows how to go to the hole with either hand, even though you really can't stop him from going left, it seems. Noah Jonker from Ash, which is
right.
the second rated team in 5A. He is he's a man. He really is.
Right. He's definitely, he's definitely done the most with his senior season. I got to see him early in the year at the Marksville tournament. They played against Wiseman, and that's exactly what I said as well. Was he did a great job of utilizing his IQ, and just what Preston said. If a big was on him, he brought him out to the 3-point line and just blew by him or hit him with a double move. If a small was on him, he wasn't and hasn't been afraid all year to put his back to the basket, catch face up or drop step or whatever else he has in his arsenal to get the ball in the basket for Coach Bradshaw and Ash. And again, they won some ball games. I'm not going to say the technical term of upset, because when you work really hard, it shouldn't be considered upset. You did what you prepared to do.
Right.
So, good job, Noah Jonker.
Yeah.
Who else you got, bro?
Those were really my top guys. Some guys that might just, and their name might get whispered, but they probably will not win the award. Joseph Manning, definitely from Bossier.
Oh yeah.
Rayshawn McCullough from Huntington. He's had a bounce back season, and let's put it like this: if Huntington makes it all the way to the state championship game, he'll be the reason. He'll be the primary reason. I'll say it like that.
Right. Man, hey, real spill though, man. Joe Manning took it upon himself to be the leader that Bossier was missing early. And he did it without complaining. And so again, when you get a guy at 6'2", 6'3", like Joe Manning is, and he can run the point, or he can move to the shooting guard, or he can move to the small forward, it makes for big matchup issues.
Right. And he doesn't mind defending anybody.
Right. And he'll tell you, I'm coming to get mine. Like, he's not afraid of anything on the court. So I think another kid that we really can't leave out, and I'm included in this, and because Solomon does so much, we sometimes don't appreciate all that this kid does, and that's Dorian Finister. At Carver, again, we be doing a disservice to the game if we leave him out. He's a high major kid that can really play this game of basketball. You also got to look at again this next kid that I'm about to name, because he has so many pieces around him. Sometimes it looks and/or appears as if he is lacking in some stuff, but he's a hell of a point guard and he's a hell of a shooting guard, which makes him a combo guard, and that's Markel McClain, Peabody. And he's asked to defend one or two best offensive player against their opponent. But again, when you got a guy like Kevin Jones on your team, you got number 13, you got number 43, you got all these dudes on your team. Sometimes, people might try to sweep you under the rug. Not today. No getting swept under the rug today, Markel McClain.
Yeah, you like Markel a lot since the summer, so
yeah. He did the work though.
Yeah,
it's not like he's been given something,
right?
And the last kid is from
Wow, it almost sounds like he's saying he's got to give somebody from North Louisiana some love. I almost can't believe this.
Come on, this is man.
Think you're talking about Nick Maryland. Sorry.
All I call him is
from Simsboro because they're visiting because they're visiting Jersey saying the borough on them.
Like I was so happy, man, over the last few weeks on Twitter. He's posted a lot of offers that he's gotten. Again, he was out for a few weeks. I think probably close to a month during tournament season. Kid can go though, bro. Yeah. Lefty can take flight, can let it fly. Hell of a defender. I like everything about that kid game, man.
Yeah, number one team in Class B. He might be the leading scorer or second leading scorer. He and Jordan Crawford take turns, but yeah, Nick and Nick, to be honest, has what some college coaches say. He already has a college body. He's already kind of built.
He's definitely muscular. Yeah, he's definitely muscular. So hey, man, that might be our time, man.
Oh man,
went a little bit past, but that's okay.
Yeah,
we always got to go a little longer when you're on the show. It's always fun.
Man, I'm glad I could be here.
No doubt, man. No doubt. So, hey, we want to thank our guest, Preston Edwards of Prep Hoops fame, Off the Bench Sports contributor as well, and now the Shreveport Bossier Journal.
Yeah.
Man, thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for hanging out with us, giving us your basketball knowledge and expertise. Thank you. Remember, get off the bench, get into the game.